What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I already made a video showing that I bought a new AR. I have it here all completely set up. I'm gonna unbox it for you guys so you guys can kind of see what it comes with, and then we're gonna clean it and assemble it together. This right here is the made in the USA, American made Diamondback AR-15 5.56 chambered. For those of you that don't know, that's the size of the round. If you have 5.56, you can also technically shoot .223. Here's a tip for you. If you chamber in 5.56, you can shoot .223, but if you chamber in .223, you cannot shoot 5.56. The reason why is because there is a pressure difference between both rounds. And if you chamber in 5.56, 5.56 has a higher pressure rate. So when you're shooting .223, it's not gonna make much of a difference. But if your firearm or if your rifle is meant to shoot .223 and you shoot 5.56, it can damage it because it's not made to handle that kind of pressure. So now that that is out of the way, let's go ahead and pop this bad boy open. All right, so it's just a basic box. So this is not a very high priced AR. I would consider it to be very low range, but I'm gonna show you guys the main reason why I got this. As far as accessories and paperwork, we'll do all that stuff first. So it's gonna come with a lock. So, okay, one thing about the locks that I didn't know, because my first handgun I bought, I got a lock. They never explained anything to me, okay? Shout out to, I think his name, Kendry. He sold me my Taurus and he opened the box for me, showed me everything that was in it, explained every piece to me, right? As if it was my first time buying. So the first time I bought a handgun, he didn't explain to me that the lock is actually supposed to go through the magazine weld and through the chamber essentially. So on a pistol, when you get it, you're supposed to thread it through so that you can actually lock the firearm itself, so that if somebody were to take it, they would have to try to cut the lock off. But I thought it was to lock the case it came in. So I would literally be like, dude, this lock is so long, and I would wrap it around. It didn't make sense, but he showed me like this goes through here, click, now your firearm is locked. So that's good for when you're traveling. As long as you have a TSA approved case, you know your firearm is completely locked and secure. I have my receipt. Then it comes with the full manual, okay? So the manual is important because it gives you everything that you need to know in regards to actually shooting it, what to do with it. So let's go ahead and skim through this really quickly. So it actually tells you ammo specifications, okay? So it'll tell you your model. So this is a DB15, that stands for Diamondback AR-15, and it says ammunition specifications. 5.56 millimeter NATO. NATO, if you don't know what NATO is, it's essentially the like the group that America belongs to. And with NATO, we have certain regulations and things like that that we do. And 5.56 is a NATO chambered round that we use in America for most standard firearms, depending on the rifle used, but like a standard issue M4 or M16, A4, A5, I don't even know what they're using anymore. Maybe even like the M27, are chambered 5.56. Okay, try to educate you guys on the way. So this is kind of reinforcing what I said before, and it shows you the different parts of it. I'm not going to show you guys the full breakdown, but essentially, I'll show you guys this really quick so you can see, and then I'll kind of explain it to you. It shows you like where the buffer tube is, the stock, what each piece is. So I can kind of break that down to you as we go through it. Shows you the bolt carrier group. It gives you the breakdown as far as like what you're gonna have. Now the bolt carrier group, the bolt is essentially what's in the back. It houses the firing pin. The bolt is what pushes and actually chambers the round in, puts the pressure into the firing pin, releasing the round, cycles through, which is called the cycle of operations, chambers out, the round pops out, and then pretty sure the buffer spring is what propels it back forward and absorbs recoil. It pushes the next round back in as it pulls it up. So understanding the cycle of operations is important because you understand how it works, and then if something happens, you understand where it went wrong and how to kind of fix it based off of what the issue is. But outside of that, there's nothing else that comes in the box. Again, it's not a super high, or let me rephrase that. It comes with one Magpul mag, okay? Again, this is not a super high expensive price AR, so it's gonna come with the bare basics, but the actual firearm itself. So the main reason why I opted for this over like the Smith & Wesson, right? So they're all gonna come like this, but the difference is this already comes with a mag-pull adjustable stock. It comes with M-LOK rails, and it already comes with mag-pull accessories. So M-LOK rails are mag-pull already ready, like it's already mag-pull ready system. Okay, so on the Colt Smith, or on this, I'm sorry, on the Smith & Wesson, I would have already tried to upgrade that, or I would have paid for the version with the M-LOK. I would have had to upgrade the stock, and this one comes with a mag-pull pistol grip. So the accessories that comes on it for like $350 cheaper is already better than what you're gonna get on there, because those are things you're probably gonna upgrade. Will that one probably come with a better trigger? Possibly. And the charging handle, I'm not sure if that one is as good, but this one has like the little button. Or like the little clip on it. I'm not sure if the Smith & Wesson had that one on there or not. But so, okay, I'm gonna take this out. That is all that comes in the box. So we're just gonna field strip it in order to clean it. So field stripping, there's a little pin right here. You push it out one side, you pop it out the other side. It should break down, okay? Call this shotgun style. There's another pin on the other side, okay, which you don't have to take out, but what it'll do is it'll completely separate the top from the bottom. So now in order to take out the bolt group, I'm gonna pull the charging handle back. It takes out, this is the bolt carrier group, okay? So this is the bolt, which this is actually pretty oiled already. The fact that, you see how I can do that, and this pops out. When you can flick that, that's how you know. This is already pretty oiled, which is great, okay? So charging handle, you can also pull this out. I can kind of see the grease in here already, which is awesome. And then there's already some lube inside where the buffer spring is. We're gonna release the hammer. So what we'll do is we'll get in here, we'll run our little, our brush, get some lube in there. And then to take out the buffer spring, there's something that's blocking it. So we're gonna have to just push this back, push down the little pin that's blocking it. And you have to be careful here, because if you're not careful, this will literally just shoot out at you. And then look at this fucking spring. So the bigger this tube is usually, and the bigger the spring, obviously the more tension you're gonna get. And ideally you wanna clean in here also. So this is field stripping outside of one more piece. So in the bolt group, there's a little pin that holds the bolt in the firing pin. You wanna pull this out, which this is amazing, because usually new guns are like really, everything's really tight, and I can see a little bit of grease on everything, so this is good. So you pull that out, and you can pull, hello. There we go. Pull that out, and the firing pin falls out. Okay, so all this stuff will get dirty, okay? So you wanna make sure that you're actually cleaning it. So this is as far as you should go breaking anything down when it comes to cleaning your rifle. Go. But essentially we wanna lube up the barrel to some degree, right? Before we shoot it. So we'll drop this through again. We'll usually run this through like twice. Plastic. So it's gonna be a lot easier to pull this time. Amazing. So usually after the range, you'll wanna run that through like 2 or 3 times. Since it's new, we're only gonna run it through once. So now that's done. Now, it's mostly gonna just be lubrication. What I'll do first is in here, spray a little bit in here. I'm just gonna brush around here, get everything nice, and because the thing, so what I'm using, I didn't mention this is CLP. It's gonna help clean, lubricate, but also like prevent rust. So what you wanna do is get it everywhere you can, but then you don't want it caked and gunked on there. So you're gonna see I'm gonna wipe everything down also, so that it just has like a nice coating and it's not like soaking wet. We're gonna reset the hammer. This we can be a little bit more generous with. Spray it literally all on here. Because remember this, you wanna lubricate the points that are going to meet the most friction. So the buffer tube and spring, okay, I'll wash my hands after. The buffer tube and spring are gonna have probably some of the most friction. So you wanna get this nice and lubricated. Remember, that's coming back and forth constantly every time you shoot. So you wanna make sure it has a lot of lube on it. And then here, the bolt carrier group also, because the buffer spring and the bolt carrier group are gonna meet the most friction out of any piece on your firearm, okay? Or on the rifle. So this you can be very generous with. Lube the outside and the inside. Okay, we're not gonna overdo it. After, I'm gonna wipe it down after, but you wanna make sure we're gonna get it in every nook and cranny. So anything that's gonna meet a lot of friction, you wanna make sure is nice and lubed up. And then, so there's a little thing here that turns. You wanna make sure that it's flat. So this right here, there's like a little thing that, it's like a guide. You wanna make sure it's flat so that the firing pin can fall all the way back down. Now the firing pin is secure. And the way to make sure that you're good, pop this in and out a few times. Make sure the firing pin stays put. Make sure that the actual firing pin retainer pin doesn't fall out. And now make sure that that can slide easy. This is nice and lubricated. Get some lube inside of the chamber as well. So again, remember, this is not just lubrication. It's also gonna prevent rust, and it's gonna help you, it's gonna help your firearm function a little bit better, okay? So we're gonna make sure we get that in there. Align it. You have to make sure the firing pin is fully extended or else it won't fit. You just drop it in there, okay? So now all of our points of friction are clean. So now we're gonna take this, push the pin back in, and that's it. And that's nice and lubricated. It's gonna be a lot smoother now. So now we're gonna do a functions check. We know it's clear. Hold down the trigger, wait for the click. We're gonna rack it back, and you should hear the reset. Hear the reset, and then click again. One more time. Resets, perfect. Safe fire works. That means everything is engaging properly. So we're all good there.